Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. I'm going to show you how to clean up this Mr. Coffee Cafe Barista. I've had this thing for about 3 years. I really like it. So it's got a milk side and the espresso side. So let's say you just finished making your cappuccino. Now there's two ways to do this. Let's say you want it, so you got extra milk in here. The nice thing about this is you can take this milk container out and put it in your refrigerator. But before you do that, they want you to run some steam and clean out that nozzle. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to turn this down to clean. If you turn this all the way down, there's a clean arrow. Get you a spare container. Direct that in there. And if you look at this control, if we hold this button in, it's going to do the clean process. Now it's kind of loud. Hold the button in. Now it's going to shoot some steam out that and clean that. Okay, that took about 30 seconds. I can pull this out now. Lift that lever up. There's what it runs through that stem there. But I can pull this out now, and I can put this in the refrigerator. And I leave mine in the refrigerator for about a week. After about a week, you start to get some scum build up on the side here. Then when you want to do your next thing, you just put it in there. Sometimes I forget it's on clean. You got to make sure you move it back up to where you want a cappuccino or a latte. Okay, now let's clean the espresso side. We've got to take this handle off. There's our grounds. Now it does drip on you as you take this over to the trash can. But what's nice about this, and I didn't realize it had this little lever that flips up. Now you're going to want to take this over to the trash can. You're going to hold that. What that does is that holds that cup so that you can beat the grounds out. Okay, so you take this over to the trash can and you can beat your grounds out. There it comes out, and the cup stayed in. Now if I was just doing a normal cleaning, I would just take this little cup out. Be careful, it can be hot. Now, I don't take this cup apart every single time. You can take that nut off, and I'm going to show you that. But if this was just like my, about every 4th or 5th time, I'll take the cup apart. But normally, I would just rinse it under some water. And kind of make sure there's no coffee grounds left in it. And then that would be good. And then same with this. I'm just going to rinse this off. And that would be good for that. Now back over to the milk side. So say you're ready to clean this, do some deep cleaning on the milk side. You're going to turn this down to clean. We're going to do that clean process. See how it says clean right here? That's if you long press this button. So we're going to press it. Okay, so yeah, make sure these little containers I got at Walmart, they just work perfect for cleaning this machine. So now we're going to take this up, we're going to take this out, we're going to take it over to the sink, and I'm going to show you how to take it apart. So now we've got this, and so we can take this apart. Now you can get in here and scrub if there's some milk scum on the sides. You can also put this in the dishwasher. This is pretty straightforward. This, on the other hand, is a little more complicated. You can take this hose off, and you can clean that hose really well. I wouldn't put this in the dishwasher, just clean this by hand. Now this little, be careful, this can be hot, but this metal thing's you just quarter turn it and it's gonna slide off. And you can take a brush and clean inside there. Sometimes you get some milk in there that's kind of hard to get out. And same with this opening right here, that's where the milk comes out. Sometimes you get some milk in there that you can't get out and just gotta get a little brush in there. Now it says you can put this is as far as I take this assembly apart. It says you can put this in the dishwasher. I don't. I rinse mine by hand with soap, run water through the ports, and then that's all I do for that. And I don't put this in the dishwasher either. Okay, so we're done with the milk side. Let's go over to the espresso side. We're going to take this apart, and you'll be surprised. So normally I would take this apart. And it's real simple. This plastic thing just quarter turns and it comes off. And then you just push this through. And then you're going to be left with this part. And this has like an O-ring. It just comes off. Put the O-ring to the side. And then these two parts separate. The black, they're not held together. Sorry, I had to use 2 hands, but those just separate. These I scrub really well. Sometimes you can get some espresso grounds stuck in those. And then that's your little point. I have had that clog up one time, but it's real easy to clean. And I just wash all this by hand. Now we're going to get into this cup. Normally, I was just washing this by hand, thinking I was getting it really clean. And then I saw this screw, and I thought, you know, I'm going to take that screw off. I've never taken that screw off. So I took that screw off. It's just a normal number 2 Phillips screw. Don't lose the screw. And then this black thing was down inside here. Now what was so shocking, this was down inside there, and it just comes up. What was so shocking was how dirty this was inside here. I had no idea that that would be. It kind of makes sense because the espresso's under pressure and it's being forced out those holes. It's going to go down underneath this little plastic cup. Now this plastic cup does have a metal, or I mean, I'm sorry, a rubber, like it's like an O-ring, like a gasket. I've already cleaned mine once, but I'm going to show you how to clean this up. Okay, so what I'm going to use is this blue liquid. I've only found it on Amazon. They don't normally keep it like at Walmart or anything, but it's clearly coffee, and it works great for cleaning coffee pots, the brown stains that coffee pots leave on themselves and that. But it's you want to use gloves, it's concentrated, and you want to leave it concentrated. But I'm going to pour some on this and this parts and this to try to get those brown stains off, and even this to try to get those brown stains off. We're going to see how it does. Okay, so I've got an old bucket here, and I'm letting this stuff soak. I've left it concentrated, and I'm going to use a bristle brush to kind of just work it in a little bit. Sometimes you got to let it soak a little bit. So here's the brush I'm going to use, and I think it's going to work pretty good. Like I said, I'm leaving it concentrated, letting it soak, but then I'm kind of scrubbing it. Okay, so I've been scrubbing at this for a little bit, so that blue water has turned brown from clearing all the coffee out. Now, this one's not coming as clean as I would like. Now, I haven't cleaned mine for 3 years, and it's got a little bit of corrosion in there. So I don't think I'm going to get it completely clean, but it is definitely a lot better. Now, these parts over here really cleaned up nice. This metal had some brown stains on it, and it's just crystal clear. Same with this. This had some brown stains that soap and water never got off, and now it is crystal clear. And that works really well on plastic. So the plastic just cleared up really nice. And I washed all of these with soap and water when I was done, because this is a chemical, and I want to make sure I get all that chemical off. Okay, so like I said, this is about as clean as I'm going to get mine. I could probably get a new one of these, but I'm still going to use it. Let's reassemble it. We've got to make sure we got this little gasket. We're going to put the gasket on there. Then this is going to fit down in there. And I'm going to hold that up while I put that screw in. Okay, so a number 1 Phillips works better on that. So I would take this apart. You know, if I had a brand new machine and I'm cleaning it for the first time, I would take this apart more regularly. I actually just didn't think about taking this apart. I always took all this apart. That's why it's in relatively good shape. But I would be taking that apart. So now we're going to assemble the cup. And the biggest thing about that is this O-ring's got a little lip on one side. And that's going to go down in there like that. But we're going to assemble this piece and this piece. This has got kind of an edge, so it fits down in there. It doesn't snap or anything. Now what keeps them together is this O-ring. So the O-ring is going to go like that. See how the lip goes up towards the top of the metal part. So you just slip the O-ring. It holds both of those pieces together. It's got a groove that holds them together, and there's the lip. So now this can go in here like the cup. And it's got 3 little ears you've got to line up. Once the 3 little ears are lined up, it'll poke out, and then that's when we put the nut on. So there I've got the nut on, and then you just got to quarter turn it. And it'll kind of snap. There, it's snapped. And that's the assembled cup. And then we can put this back in here. Got to line up the ears. There, dropped in. So now we've got our espresso cup ready to go. Okay, so now let's assemble the milk side. And again, this tube, it just pokes right there and that stays. And then if you'll see, well, yeah, there's a groove right there. And so this thing, see that little dot on that metal? That's got a little thing that it's going to slide right in there. And then it's going to quarter turn. Now that kind of stays on there. You really want that to stay on there good. Quarter turn it because it could come flying off when it's shooting the milk out. There's the assembled milk side. Okay, so now we've got those deep cleaned. I just reassembled them. I've left no milk in it. I've got this really nice cup. These cups make it really nice for cleaning because you're just going to need to be emptying it a bunch. I've got the cup holder back in with no espresso in, and I've got the cup in there. So now we're going to do a descaling. So the first descaling they want you to do, well, first of all, this is how much vinegar you need. You're going to need 2 of these, 64 fluid ounce. These are at Walmart. It's distilled white vinegar. These are about $2 a piece. One we're going to run through the coffee maker, and the other one is for the water. So the water side may get some calcium buildup in it. Mine never has because I take a brush in there and scrub mine pretty good every so often. So I've never really had to descale mine, but you could get some lime deposits in here. What they want you to do is dump your water out, and then they want you to fill it up to the max with the white vinegar and let it sit overnight. So this takes a while. So letting it sit overnight will eat away that lime deposits in there, and then you got to kind of scrub it, then you got to rinse it out. So let's say we've done that. We filled it up, let it sit. Now we're going to run some vinegar through the machine. Okay, so we're going to empty out that vinegar that we had sitting overnight. I don't recommend using that vinegar because it might have some mineral deposits, and you don't want to suck those mineral deposits into your machine. So make sure this is nice and clean. And it says fill this up half full of vinegar. So there, it looks like about out. So you can see that's how much it used. Okay, so we've got our vinegar in. Now here's the thought behind this. What it wants you to do is run a 2-shot espresso. And what that's going to do is that's going to run the vinegar through the heating element, and it's going to come out on this side. Then it wants you to turn this to clean. And then it wants you to put this on the clean cycle. So we're going to hold this and do a clean cycle. You're going to alternate, go back and forth until that reservoir is empty. So you're going to run that vinegar through both sides. So let's do this. Do a double shot. And so it's running the vinegar through there right now. And it kind of stinks. And we're going to have to run a lot of water. When the vinegar's all done, we're going to have to run a lot of water through to get that out. So those double shots, they don't run a lot of water through. Now, somebody did teach me a trick. If you press and hold this, it goes till you stop it. Now, I don't know how long I want to let that run like that. So it's running the vinegar through. Now, it's not going to stop. See how neither one of these lights are lit? It's not going to stop running the vinegar through the espresso side until I press the button. So you can get a lot more vinegar run through by doing it this way. I just don't know if it's hard on the machine or not in that heating element. So I'm going to stop it. Now I'm going to run it through this side. I've got this on clean. I'm going to press and hold this button. Okay, so when it's done with the clean side on the milk side, these buttons, all buttons, these flash, and you can't do anything. Everything's kind of froze up. So sometimes you got to turn it off and back on. But I think these are just flashing because the heating elements inside aren't up to temperature. So if you wait long enough, these will come back on steady, meaning that it's ready to run some water through again. So something else to keep in mind. So I'm going to clean this. So even though I've done a really detailed clean on this, I'm going to clean it again. After I'm all done with the vinegar and running the water through, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this head apart. And I might periodically take this off Because what I've found is sometimes, yeah, see, there gets to be coffee in there that you want to dump out. Not like that, but if I would have been using my holder, it wouldn't have popped out. And what I have found is I am going to take that all apart once I'm finally done to just give it one more good clean. Okay, so I waited a little bit. I didn't have to turn it back on and off. These lights are on steady now. So now I can do my espresso side, which I'm going to do. That's called manual. So it's going to run until I stop it. So some people clean their machines before they ever use them. I just ran water through mine. I didn't do the whole vinegar thing. Some people have claimed that by doing the vinegar when they get it brand new, that the temperatures come out a little better. I haven't noticed any problem with the temperature, but like I said, I just ran a couple things of water through it when I first got it brand new. So I would do this about if you use it heavy, probably about every 3 or 4 months, maybe 6 months. Definitely every year, I would definitely do this. Okay, so it's real nice to have, like I said, this container because you're going to be emptying that a bunch. I've ran all my vinegar through. Now I've got just plain water. So, and I do at least 2 of these containers full of water. It takes a while, and it might even be kind of hard on your machine, but I don't want that vinegar taste in there. I've never had the taste of it, so I just don't want that in there. So you're just going to keep, to run the water through, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to run fresh water here and fresh water here on the clean side. You're just going to keep alternating. Eventually, you're going to get all that water out. This process takes about an hour. And unfortunately, you've got to kind of sit here and baby it. There's not much you can do in the meantime. So again, this is just a dad. This is the tools you're going to need. Gloves, #1 Phillips, some like pipe cleaners, a brush, this Clearly coffee off of Amazon, and some vinegar, and a container, and a bucket. So again, start to finish about an hour. These things really sold like hotcakes. They put these on sale. I've got another video that kind of explains how to make a white chocolate mocha, and it's gotten a lot of hits. I think just because they've really been selling a lot of these. So I thought I would do a cleaning video. If you could, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.